And so in 2024, I quit my job with no prospects in sight in a crazy job market. Hey guys, it's Dr. Mrs. Mom, and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a whole year since I posted a video, and while I'm not a huge fan of so sorry I haven't posted a video in a while, I do apologize because I was growing a community and I just left you all cold turkey. Well, here's what kind of happened in the year 2024. Now, I don't know about you, but 2024 had some really, really big requirements, okay? The biggest one being crazy faith. In 2024, I don't think that my faith has been tested and stretched as it had been this past year. And I feel like I'm not the only one. There's so many people in my circle who 2024 almost took us out, but God. Before we get into the story and all of the things, I hope you all are doing well. I hope you're rested and excited about 2025. It seems like there's a lot of expectations in the air about what's to come and how we're going to take the year and the new year intentions and resolutions if you're into that kind of thing. So, welcome to 2025. I hope that this year is full of insight, clarity, and most importantly, strategy. So let's talk about the year that was, 2024. As at the time that I left you all, I was on maternity leave and I was starting to share with you guys my journey towards becoming a mom. And we will still continue that after this video. I just felt it would be odd to continue on, but not give you any, here's where I've been and here's what I've been doing. So as at the last time you saw me, I was a new mom navigating the trenches of newbornhood and all the things that came with that. Well, fast forward to 2024 when it was time to go back to work. I knew that things needed to be different and things needed to change in 2024. Especially having a child, you kind of begin to reprioritize and think about what actually is truly important to you. And just like most moms, I had that whole moment of clarity amidst the fogginess of being a new mom. And I knew that it was time for me to quit my job. Now, here's the thing. My job isn't horrible. It wasn't horrible. My job wasn't going to hinder or hamper me from experiencing motherhood and all the things, especially as a scientist, right? Like you kind of make your own hours, you go by data and results. And so it was actually going to be the perfect fit. However, going into my mat leave, I knew that the Lord had told me that I needed to quit my job. A lot of things happen in there that I will share. I promise. It's all part of this motherhood story. But when the time came, I started to look for daycares for my son, and I just couldn't find any. Ottawa, Canada in general has a big daycare crisis. There aren't enough providers for the number of children available. And so it was just a really, really hard time. And so when it came time to go back to work, I actually couldn't because I was looking for daycare. Anyways, I eventually found daycare and it was time for me to go back to work. And despite the fact that I knew that God had said it was time to quit my job, y'all know what I did. I went back. I did because of fear, because I didn't know how my family was going to survive without this other paycheck, especially because I didn't have any plans lined up. I was afraid. I was nervous. I was traumatized because we were just coming out of a season that was traumatic. Again, I will share more. I don't want to skip ahead in the story of how I became a mom. Anyways, long and short of the story, friends, I went back to work and walked in disobedience. Do I regret it? Absolutely. And I'm thankful for God's mercies and his kindness. And that's exactly why I haven't been consumed. But it took me a little bit. And it was very, very clear without a shadow of a doubt. I don't know if I'm the only one. There are times when you believe that God has said something to you. And it's a very uncomfortable word. It's a very uncomfortable step. And you know that this is God. But because of the discomfort, you begin to question, was that me? Did I make this up? Or is this actually what God is telling me to do? Well, I was in that place. And that's part of why I started to walk in disobedience. Aside, of course, from the big thing, which was fear and uncertainty, not knowing what's to come. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, it became very clear to me that this was the voice of the Lord, and I was walking in disobedience. And if I called myself a Christian and a child of God, then it was imperative that I either trusted God or I didn't. And so in 2024, I quit my job with no prospects in sight in a crazy job market. And I lived by faith. I can't believe that I'm here right now. Still unemployed, by the way, in 2025. But I look back at the moment when I made that decision. I look back on that moment and I say, wow, I can't believe I'm actually here now. I have many questions for myself, for God, for Canada and its current job situation. I mean, I know there's a global crisis. Please don't get me wrong. I know there's a global crisis. But Canada? Anyways, I believe in listening and obeying the voice of God, even though it's not clear, even though it doesn't quite make sense in the present, because God's plan are always for the good of those who love him. I'm willing to bet on that. So 2024 was a year of faith, trust, stretching. My mind, I battled a lot mentally in 2024. But I'm here now. And like I said, I still have questions of the Lord of why he had me go through this journey. But I really, really believe that this is a setup for purpose. This is a setup for growth. This is a setup for God, most importantly, to show forth his glory. So I'm coming on here back on YouTube with a renewed mind, a renewed focus, and a high expectation of how God is going to move. And I'm bringing you into this journey with me. So let's do it. Welcome to 2025 and a happy new year to you.